Hello, welcome to today's Q&A session. Yesterday I was asked a question by somebody who just joined my online training, and they said my horse is bucking and spooking. Actually, my child's pony is bucking and spooking, and I can't find anything in the training to address that specifically. And so what I want to do is say, well, first of all the training is really addressing those things. The problem with the pony that's bucking and spooking is that it's lacking the foundation work, and that's what we do in the training here, is we do the foundation work. So it's really important that you work through step by step. So let me just take you through that process and what I would do for the pony that's bucking and spooking. Let's talk about where to start. So if you navigate along to KandooEquine.com, and if you're not already a member, you can join quite easily here. You can also get access to some free videos if you want to just have a look at what the courses are like. So if you go along to the free videos, you just need to put your name and your email address in there, and then it'll take you into this section here, and you'll have some written videos, some groundwork videos, and then a couple about just science and technology. So if you click into the written work, you're going to find things like problems with backing, and if you go into one of them, you'll see there'll be a video as well as some notes, and there's somewhere for you to leave a comment. So you can watch these videos, and it'll talk you through. This one's just about 8 minutes long. Anyway, so once you've done that and you've decided that you would like to come and have a look at the training, you can sign up, just join by the month if you like. It's quite simple. And when you land inside the training as a member, this is the page you're going to see. So this will show you all the different courses available. Now, if we come back, there's a second page here as well. Right here. Now, you came with a specific problem, was that your pony was bucking and spooking. Okay, so the first thing I'd like you to do is to go to the engagement zone course, and this is going to take you through how to assess your horse's emotional level. The big problem with the horse that's bucking and spooking, and let's concentrate on spooking just for a minute. Spooking is a sign that your horse is not in your bubble of communication. So your horse is doing something completely different from what you're trying to do. Your horse is under the stimulus control, if you like, of the environment, not listening to your cues. So you're not really communicating properly. And that's the first thing you need to fix. You guys need to get on the same page, so you're talking and the horse starts to understand what you're trying to get it to do. With each of these lessons here, there'll be a little task to do. So let's just go back a page, and if we have a look at, I don't know, shaping behavior, you click on it, and then there's a horse rearing up. He's actually being taught to do that. There'll be a video for you to watch about shaping behavior.
Today we're looking at
and then there'll be a little task for you to do here under downloads. So if you click on that, that takes you through to the task, and that's a printable PDF you can have a look at. So let's go back to our courses. Once you've worked your way through that engagement zone course, you're going to have a much better understanding about how your horse learns and how what you do affects your horse's behavior. The next thing then is to start addressing, now that you've really got an idea and an idea about how to get your horse to stop spooking, we're going to have a look then at the bucking problem, and that comes from a lack of foundation. The first thing to do with any behavioral problem like this is to make sure, of course, that your horse isn't suffering from pain in any way. Now, saddle fit is the biggest problem that I see. So if you go into first saddling here, I often see horses that have poorly fitted saddles. And if anything is going to make the horse buck, it's going to be a poorly fitting saddle, as you can imagine. Now I have 3 video lessons here, and they're done by a master saddle maker, and he walks us through fitting a saddle to your horse. So I would run through that quickly first before I started on the give to the bit work, and that you can find those courses under first saddling. So coming back here, the give to the bit is my most important foundation training course. Now with the 6 major courses, so that's give to the bit, shoulder control, long reining, first saddling, trailer loading, and round pen use, I have a full-length DVD lesson on there as well. So if you just click on that, and you'll find that in addition to all the other training material on each of these subjects. There's a full-length lesson here. This one goes for about 45 minutes or an hour. And there's a downloadable lesson plan there as well, which will talk you through what you're doing, all the different steps. It'll give you some pictures. And that just makes it really clear for you, and that's something that you can download and keep. It makes it just easy to follow through. So do that first, then go back to the lesson. Now, with give to the bit, and because it's such an important lesson, I go through following this with most of the things that people find difficult. So, quite often if your bridling isn't that good, it sort of sets you up in a bad frame of mind to start your lesson. So we go through teaching bridling, getting started. How much pressure? And that's often, the first question people ask, and you say that I need to do pressure release, but how much pressure do I need? And as I'll explain in this, it just depends on your horse, and the horse actually determines the amount of pressure that you need. And we look at the head position that you want and where you should stand. We look at the older horse and the off-the-track horse. So this is quite a really, really comprehensive course. And there's a video here as well, which will talk you through the different types of snaffle bit that you might want to use. So once you've done that give to the bit course, what most people find is their horses actually stop spooking then. So that should actually get you over that problem. The reason they stop spooking is because they're now engaged in the learning process, and they understand now what you're wanting them to do, and they've got specific things to do. And you put some pressure on the horse responds in the way you're asking it to, and you release the pressure, and the horse goes, oh wow, so this is starting to make some sense to me, and this is quite easy, I can do this. Once you've got that basic foundation, you've done the engagement zone, so you understand how to get your horse to be with you in the engagement zone, and the horse is then concentrating on the lesson and not on all the things going on around it. Your give to the bit has given your horse this softness in the bridle, it's traveling in frame. We then move on to shoulder control. So basically these courses move from engagement zone, give to the bit, shoulder control, and we just go through them like this in this order. So a lot of people then look at the first saddling course and say, oh, my horse is already under saddle. Well, that may well be true. Your horse might already be under saddle. However, if your horse bucks, or if your horse is a little bit cold-backed, it's possible that it didn't have a very good saddling process. It's possible it didn't really understand the saddling process very well. And so it's a really good idea to work your way through these lessons again and reinforce all of that for your horse. I then have some things on what I'm calling advanced saddle habituation, which is where we actually get the horse to carry some scary objects, which really, of course, aren't scary by the time the horse has learned how to do that. And we do this really nicely. we habituate the horse to it. This is not about flooding the horse with things, tying things to the horse and getting it to run around. This is about teaching the horse that it will not hurt you, and just to remain calm and travel around carrying these objects. The other thing you'll find, which is really useful in the first saddling course, apart from you've got a full-length training lesson there as well, but the hips to the fence course is contained within this, because I always teach the horses this first of all. So they've got a summary to a discussion about the emotional level when you're teaching this particular lesson. And this is just going to get your horse to understand to come to the mounting block or to the fence for mounting, and to stand quietly until it's asked to do something else, which might be move off. I'll go back to the courses. So now you've got your horse where it stands quietly for mounting, you've got the give to the bit work, you've done the shoulder control work, the horse is now got shoulder control, you can move it left and right off each rein. And so then I go to something which, is rather unusual these days, which is long reining. And I use long reining instead of lunging, and I've got various reasons why I do that. If you click into this, you can see, again, you've got a full-length training lesson there. That's sort of an hour long, and it comes with a PDF to explain things to you. And then I discuss in these courses with all different horses the things that people have problems with. So habituation, some horses really don't like the rope going behind them, and so this is where I teach the horse to be habituated to having that rope behind it. Changing direction, and then that goes on to the common problems, horses kicking at the lines, and the older horse. So all really useful. Long lining, once you've learned to do it, and it will take you a little bit longer to learn to do it than it would perhaps lunging, but it's educational as opposed to lunging, which really just makes your horse fitter, and quite often the horse is going around with its head in the air. So habituation to novel objects is learning to carry things on the saddle. I've got a course here on round pen. I don't use the round pen very much, and the reason I don't teach it much anymore is I've found it's actually very difficult not to chase a horse in the round pen, especially when you start learning. So if you're interested in using the round pen, please do watch these courses. It's again, you've got a full-length lesson there. And then I start with what not to do, which is don't chase your horse. And then we move on. I think what you need to be aware of in the round pen is it's a great place to teach things if you're really specific about what you want to teach. So I teach inside turns, outside turns, and come to me, and that's all I teach. And I'm very specific about asking the horse to turn, and I don't run the horse around the round pen, and I don't chase the horse. And so all those things are made very clear in that course. Trailer loading, often a big problem for people, so you'll find it's obviously a really important course. So again, you've got a full-length lesson there, and then these lessons here are using all different horses, so you get a chance to look at all the different horses, and each one comes obviously with training notes and things. And all of these lessons as well have a space here for comments. So if you comment, I will usually reply, or certainly the same day, but I'm very fast at replying, and I will reply to you personally. It is just me here. If you've got a young horse, I've got some special lessons for young horses here. Here we go, haltering and getting them used to the rope, picking up their feet, bridling them, tying up. And the tying up is for young horses or a horse that needs retraining, so an educationally young horse, so perhaps a horse that pulls back. Washing, leading, and trailer loading. Let's go back to courses here. And we'll go to the next page. So then we've got stops, which you'll see here. We're doing the stops on the ground and then under saddle. And we've got Sorry, we need to be on the next page. Stop and back up. The canter work, a lot of people have trouble with the canter work. I've got a special course here for off-the-track horses. So we're basically working our way through all of the foundation training that you saw on this page and the previous page of courses. But these lessons here are specific to the off-the-track horses. And the reason I've done this is because off-the-track horses don't always know a lot of really useful things, and they are a little bit different. So what I'm doing is just explaining how we approach that maybe slightly differently from a horse that hasn't had that experience. Let's go back again to the second page. And we've got the resources here. So I've got some checklists that you can print off. And there's a whole horse dissection, and there's a bit about boots and the barefoot horse. A very interesting farrier there, having a long conversation about fitting boots to your horse, for those of you that don't want to shoe your horse. I've made some checklists for you as well, which you can just download here. So you choose the thing that you're doing and you download the checklist. And there's a video here about how to fill those out as well. So I just sort of put on there how the horse was, any notes I need to make, and you can see, each day I have a different box to fill in. So green is the horse has got it, yellow is the horse is sort of getting there, red, the horse has no idea. It just makes you realize, how well your horse is coming along, because sometimes we don't always, when we see the horse every day, or even if it's only once a week, we don't always realize the sort of progress we're making. And I think it's important that you do. So writing it down really helps. So come along to kandooequine.com. Come and have a look. If you fill out the form down the bottom here, I'll stay in touch with you. I'll pop you on the mailing list. When new things are released, you'll be notified. If there's any new trainings, you'll be notified. If you don't feel like joining up yet and you just want to have a feel and get to know the place a little bit, press on the free training tips there, and you'll get instant access to all of these different categories, and you can have a look at a few videos and see what it's all about. If you do feel ready to buy and you really want to make a difference with your horse and your training, then just press it here on the subscription, and this will give you the choice of different types of subscriptions. So if you come along here and come down, you can see all the different ways of joining. So you can just join by the month. There's no minimum time to stay. You can just stay for a month if you want. Nobody has yet, but you might decide to. That's fine. You can join for the year. Lifetime, of course, is the most popular one. And at the moment, I've still got some DVDs in stock. So at the moment, you can see here for the yearly, lifetime, and the lifetime plan, if you want to pay that off over a period of months, I've still got some DVDs. So you'll actually receive the physical DVDs in the mail if you join for a year or a lifetime, and you'll get those 6 DVDs in the mail. I can only do that while I still have stock, because I'm not going to get them remade. If you don't, and if you just joined by the month, that's absolutely fine, because you just saw all those DVDs are available online, of course. Anyway, I really hope to see you sometime soon inside the Kandoo membership area, and I really look forward to hearing your feedback and all about your horse, so I'll see you in there.